What is up, lovers of budget cars and bikes? We are in the kitchen, and that can mean only one thing, of course. We've got some more stuff to review. I've gone out and spent about 120 quid on AliExpress goodies for the BMW 1250 GSTE. So what did we get? Was it crap? Was it complete junk? Is it going to end up in the bin? Or did we actually get anything decent for our money? Let's find out. Alright, as I said, we spent around about 120, 130 quid, but I did use a £10 discount or a 10% discount, I think it was, on the site at the time. I decided to go and buy all sorts of little goodies that are completely useless, will serve absolutely no purpose, but you know what it's like. You buy a new bike or a used bike and you want to individualise it yourself, you know, make it your own, as it were, by adding little bits like wheel spindles and radiator guards and all that kind of good stuff. So in these bags here, boxes, is all sorts of manner of different things. Anyway, we're going to get this unboxed now together. I'll show you what we got. I think this is it, but there may be another box coming up. If there is, I'll obviously include that later on in this video. But for now, let's get these boxes unwrapped and see exactly what I spent my money on. Alright, well, there it is, unpacked pretty quick. I decided to do that on time lapse just for you guys, because otherwise it gets a bit boring. So what have we got? I have bought one of these. Now, what is this, you may ask yourself? This is actually the cover, or a cover, that fits over the rear parcel shelf section, as it were, of your 1250 GS. I think it also fits the 1200, and it just covers up that kind of brushed aluminium or aluminium look there. It's a kind of protector, so I thought that might be a good idea, just to get one of those, just for fun. We also have a nice gas cap cover as well, because my bike is blue and black. I decided, I'm not sure if that will show, but that's a blue and black one there. I thought I'd get one of those. We'll see how that pans out. We've got some frame plugs as well, a nice big bag of frame plugs. I don't remember whether I actually asked for anything written on them, but I guess we'll get into that at the time. There are these little stickers as well, because mine doesn't have the R1250 GS written on the beak, as it were, of the bike. So I thought I'd get a little set of those as well. We'll obviously see how that pans out. I did buy some radiator guards as well, and I'm not sure how these fit and what they're about, but unless I'm losing my mind in my old age, they seem to have sent, unless we've got 4 radiators, which I don't think we have. I mean, they actually look okay, to be fair, and they look like they just slot up and then bolt in with the original bolt. Now you've got those. We'll put those to the side, and we got some more. I'm not quite sure whether I completely cocked up and basically decided to buy 4 instead of 2, which you need, or if we need 4. I guess we'll find out pretty soon, won't we, when we try to fit all this later on in the video. Anyway, we've got 4 of those instead of, I imagine we'd need 2 anyway. I decided also to get some of these grip puppies, because they're far cheaper on AliExpress and places like that than you can find grip puppies for. Normally they're around about 20 quid a pair. I think these were $4.90 or something like that. I have got also one of these, which fits onto the rear shaft drive, as it were. It's a protector for the shaft, so obviously in a worst case scenario, if you go down, it hits this rather than the shaft itself and scratches it up. It actually looks to be, I'll open this up ever so quickly, relatively good quality as well, surprisingly enough. Yeah, it looks okay. It's got some writing on there, but I can't quite make that out, because I think it says 1250 GS actually. And obviously that would go in like a bar end mirror. You basically pop that in, and then as you do it up, that spline then will fatten out, as it were, and that will slot straight into your shaft, as it were. But that looks okay, and it's relatively weighty as well, far better than I expected it to be. I'll quickly show you these frame plugs as well. I may as well, before we pop them on, just grab one out of the bag, see what it's about. And yeah, it says, I don't know if you can see that, I'm hoping so, it says GS just in there. Obviously there's a myriad of different sizes there, as you would need. And we've also got one of these. Now you may ask yourself, what's that all about? It's a wind deflector, if that makes sense. It fits just kind of your tank stops here, and then you've got your bars and everything else. It fits in that little aperture there, and it stops the wind coming up from the road and giving you more wind buffet, as it were, as you were riding along. There's the little hole there for your, well, it's a DIN socket. If you've changed it to USB, that's up to you, of course. We may do, I'm not sure yet. But that basically slots straight down there. It bolts in at the sides here and here, I believe. But again, we'll show you that. There are some videos on how to fit this. I won't be videoing me putting this on because, you know, I don't want to make this video 10 hours long. But that's one of those. We've also got, finally, a front axle protector, sliders. That fits straight through your front wheel, and it gives you a bit of protection either side. And I believe, let's see if I can just quickly get that open for you guys. Bear with me. Oh, I believe it says something about being a GS. Yeah, there we go. It says 1250 GS just in there. And again, relatively robust, you know, much better than you would expect from China. As I said, we've spent around about, let me just grab all this stuff. We've spent around about 120 quid, but I did get a discount. So, I mean, I'll put all the links to all this stuff in the description for you. And obviously, once it's fitted to the bike, you can make your own mind up whether you want to fit them yourself, or whether you want to buy any of this stuff. I think that's it. Obviously, being that it's come from China, there may be some delayed packages. There's also this as well, which I've already fitted. I fitted a Speed Angels tempered glass screen protector for the dash, and I decided to get another one because I didn't put the Speedo Angel ones on very well, so I thought I'd get another one. And again, I think you'd agree that's come very, very well packed. I'll open that up. Actually, I might as well just open that up now and bear with me a sec, guys. Okay, let's get that open. You get a couple of cleaning cloths as per usual, and it is tempered glass as well. You can feel it's tempered glass. So again, that's a huge saving on the Speedo Angels one as well. I think this was around about a £5 or something like that. And I'm not sure, but I think there's 2 in the pack. In fact, I will double check that for you. Yes, as you can see, you get 2 proper tempered glass as well. They're not, well, I can't bend them, let's put it that way. That's a proper tempered, fitted glass screen protector for your dash. You get 2 for about 5-6 quid, I think it was. Really well packed, as you saw just there in the box. Stick that to one side. And that is it. That is the unboxing of all the little bits and bobs. As I said, I think there might be another box coming, but I'm not 100% sure. If there is, I'll add that in later on through this video. I'll just snip it in when it arrives. But I'm going to basically get all this stuff out into the garden now. I'm going to start fitting it, or I'm not going to show you me fitting it because that would just take up far too much time. But I will show you it fitted, and then you can make your mind up, as I said, whether you think it's good value, whether you want to buy any of this stuff yourself. The links will be in the description. It's not a sponsored video. All this stuff I've actually paid for myself, and I'll give you an honest opinion. Right, let's get out to the bike in the sun and get this stuff fitted. All right, well, we are still in the kitchen. It's actually the day after we made the first video on this, the unboxing, as it were, of some bits. And I did say then that I thought there was probably going to be some other bits on their way because I wasn't sure exactly what I'd ordered and when. Lo and behold, the postman has just dumped this through my letterbox. So we're going to open this up as we did the first one. I'll quickly show you just before we go outside and fit everything. So let's get this unpacked. So there's our second lot. There is actually one more thing coming, and that is a phone mount for the little bar where the windscreen fits, basically. I'm sure you've seen them a million times. They're like the Motorrad ones that fit on the little bar across there, but instead of putting your Garmin or your Motorrad Navigator 6 and all that kind of stuff, it's basically just a cradle for your mobile phone. You just slot it in, and then you connect it to the DIN socket. That's still to come, as I ordered that late, but the second package does include a little key chain thingy here, which looks okay, because mine obviously is keyless, but you know, I'm always losing keys, so I thought I'd get myself one of those with the little 1250 GS. It looks all right. These are the crash bar protector type styly thingies here. They say 1200 GS as well. I'm hoping you can see that on there. They fit onto the crash bars. There's the back, there's the front. We've got a little kind of TFT screen sun visor, as it were. That fits over your TFT screen. I thought I'd give that a try, see what that's all about. Although I don't get any sun glare, if I'm honest. I don't think you really do on these. I thought I'd give one a try because it wasn't expensive. Then we've got this. This fits onto the tank. Obviously, you know exactly what that is, but I have no clue on how to get the old one off. I'm assuming you just pop it out somehow, prizing these apart. If you can pop that into the comment section, guys, let me know how you get these out, because I've asked on the forum and no one seems to know. And looking at that, it looks like it's just a clip in, but then obviously you've got to, if that goes that way, you've got to push these towards the outside. Oops, sorry. You've got to push these pins here towards the outside to unclip it somehow. And I don't want to damage anything, but that looks quite nice. It's very solid. And this, which was a bit of a mistake actually, I have to say, this is for the Adventure. It's a swinging, well not swinging arm, it's the drive shaft protector, because there were some reports on people scuffing the drive shaft with their boot. Mine is immaculate and I don't really think I'm going to need this, plus I don't have an Adventure. Plus this was nearly 14 quid, which I didn't realise at the time. I don't know why I spent 14 quid on that. Mine's not red, white and blue, the BMW colours for a start, and it's not an Adventure, and this is 14 quid, so I think this may well go back. I don't know, we'll find out. And these, which look really, really interesting, again it does say Adventure, but that doesn't bother me too much. These, basically one each side, they fit underneath the rear top box mount, you know, the grab handle. It's basically one each side, and then you get this one that fits at the back. So effectively, if that was your seat, that's how they'd fit, one each side and then one at the back. It's just for storing a can of Red Bull, your fags, your phone, whatever you want, you know, little toolbox, a first aid kit, whatever you like. We'll get all this fitted along with all the other stuff in a second, and we'll see how it looks. And like I said in the first part of this video, what we'll do is I'll let you know what I recommend, what I don't recommend. Obviously all the prices will be listed, and we'll go from there. But as I said, I've already fitted a couple of parts, I'll be honest. Yesterday after I made that first video, I'd fitted a couple of parts. A couple were absolute garbage and I'm going to go back. We'll talk about that in a second. But anyway, let's get out and fit the rest of this stuff here, and I'll talk you through it. I won't show you me fitting it, I'll just fit it, the bits I'm going to fit, and or I can fit, and then we'll go from there. And I'll show you around the bike and let you know my thoughts on the AliExpress unpacking bonanza. Alright, let's get out to the bike and get this stuff fitted. So we're done, guys. As I said, I wasn't going to show you me fitting every single little thing on this bike because it would have taken far too long. Firstly, let me kind of apologise for the state of the bike. It's absolutely filthy. I took it out the other day, well, last weekend actually, for both days, Saturday and Sunday, because it's such a beautiful bike to ride, and I haven't washed it yet. And I know I should have done, but it wasn't raining, so, you know, it's all good. Anyway, let's get into what we fitted, and I'll explain to you what didn't fit and, you know, the recommendations, as it were. First thing you may notice are these little kind of bags at the back here. Now, I know it says GS Adventure, and I know this isn't a GS Adventure, but they don't do them for the 1250 GS per se, so you basically got to either scrape that off, put a bit of tape over it, or just live with it. But I think you'd agree, practically they are very, very good. I mean, you can unzip this obviously here. This unzips all the way down here. You can put your can of Coke in there, bottle of water, Red Bull, packet of fags, chewing gum, first aid kit, whatever you want. It just means that you don't have to take a top box out with you necessarily if all you're going to be doing is just literally taking a drink and a sandwich with you. You could probably fit that into one of these little bags here, as you can see, because you get two of them, and they've got reflector tape on as well, so great for nighttime riding. Those I would recommend. They're very, very easy to fit. Just for reference, it fits around here and here, and then goes through here. It's not the prettiest of things, but you know, it is Velcro and it will just come straight back off again if you don't like it. Obviously I'm going to put a whole link in the description, or links as it were, for everything we fitted and everything I recommend, and the prices next to them. You can click those away. There's no kind of affiliate link for me. I'm just going to let you know what I bought and what I think. So the tank pad I was talking to you about just now in the kitchen, that is a brand new pad, as you can see, and bear with me one second. Sorry, I had to go and get the old one. And there's the old one. I'm not quite sure if you can see the difference between the two. One is a grotty, old, battered one, and one is a brand spanking new one. In answer to my own question, the way you get that off and the new one on is you basically get the front seat off. There are two little bolts just in there. There's another one just here, here and here. This will just literally pop off. If you take it off from the bottom here, it just goes plop pop and it comes off just like any panel would. Then you get to the back of this, you just squeeze them in, the old one pops off, you pop the new one in, done. It's one of the easiest jobs you'll ever do. Talking of easy jobs, there is the Sun Visor for the TFT screen. That literally went pop and that was in straight away. I'm going to let you know what I think of that. It's okay. I mean, it's a couple of quid. Again, link in the description with the price. Foam grips, they fitted really, really nicely. They are super, super tight, but a super, super bitch to get on. I would recommend Fairy Liquid and some warm water and just perseverance. It looks like they won't fit, but they will. It's just a case of you've got to really squeeze them on, which is a good thing if you consider that, you know, you want your grips to be nice and tight. So they're on, they're not a problem. They're dirty, obviously, because the ground is dirty and everything in my garden is dirty, but they do clean off. You know, they don't come like that. That's just the way they've ended up. Frame plugs, as you can see, they are in there as well, all the way down. I would like to get one for there as well. I did buy one for another GS, I think, back in the day. They're only about 5-10 quid, I think, something like that. I'm probably going to get one. It didn't come in the pack, and I missed one out there, which I'm going to put in a second. But they are all in, as you can see, with the little GS logo. They're fine, not a problem. front spindle, the axle spindle there, the kind of slider as it were. As you can see, it says GS on there. That goes in both sides like so. Piece of cake. Took about 3 minutes to fit that, and I think practically, again, for kind of protecting your bike and for ease of fitment, very, very simple. Talking of simple, there's the rear one as well for the shaft drive there. That was literally plug and play. You just take the plate off and you screw that in, and as I showed you in the first part of this video, the spline kind of opens up and that just slots straight into there. Now then, things I didn't like. The engine guard protectors, as it were, the kind of little lumpy bits that fit over there to stop you scratching your crash bars, they don't fit. They don't fit over the standard bar for a start, as in they're too narrow to click into. Plus, I couldn't for the life of me work out how they expect you to fit them because the screws come in from this way. So how are you going to tighten them up? Unless you put them on before you put the bars on, they're never going to fit. I'm not sure if that's a design flaw or whether I'm missing something. Maybe you guys can chime in on the comments, but if they bolt in this way, how on earth are you supposed to do that? Plus they didn't fit over the bar anyway. Crap, don't bother. These are, from what I understand, standard bars, so yeah, they don't fit. That's the end of that story. The radiator guards, which should fit just up in there, didn't fit. And I don't know why. I tried everything I could think of to fit them. Even though they've stamped 1250 GS on them, they do not fit, which was a shame because they actually look quite nice. The wind deflector. Now that was a bit of a bugger to fit. If you watched any videos on fitting these things, it is a bit of a bugger. It's not massively difficult, but I would suggest you open the package and find the little spanner that they provide you with, because I was trying to do it with all sorts of tools, and then I thought, I wonder if they've actually given me the spanner to do this, and lo and behold, they had, which makes your job a lot simpler. But it isn't tough. You basically just lift up the screen like so. That gives you access to these bolts here. You undo those. That will make this little portion here drop out, which takes this with it. Then you undo, I think it's these here and these here. That will take everything out of the way. Then all you're left with is the plug, basically, which you use the spanner on, and you clip it all in, and it kind of clips in just down there, down here, and into the original holes either side here, and we will see how that works. I think it looks a lot better. It fills up that cavernous space there that doesn't seem to do very much. So I think that's going to work out okay. It's not massively well designed, but it also has an extra kind of retainment here with the original side panels. As you can see, that fits underneath the side panel, so that'll stop it from blowing up, as it were. But we will work that out. We'll take it out for a ride this weekend. It's Friday afternoon, middle of May, so tomorrow or Sunday we're going to take this out for a ride, and you know, I'll let you know in a future video if that little wind deflector makes any difference, if it's any good, if it just blows off in the wind. But yes, I would recommend that because it looks much nicer, because before, bearing in mind, all you had was this cavernous open space. So if nothing else, it makes it look a lot nicer. Whether it deflects any more wind, I don't know. We will see. As I said, we've got the phone mount coming as well next week. I will pop a picture in here for you if you like. I'm sure you've seen that. It's just 4 bolts. I'll fit my phone into there, plug it into the DIN socket. There's my sat nav for £8.50 or something like that. But that is it. That is the AliExpress super haul, as it were, for budget bits for your bike. The good and the bad and the pretty ugly, it has to be said. But as I said, I'll stick links for everything that I recommend in the description for this video. You can make your own minds up. I've shown you how they fit, what they look like, and I've told you which bits don't fit. We may do another one of these if it turns into a video that people are kind of interested in. You want to see me fit some other bits. If you've got some bits you recommend, pop that in the comments section. If you enjoy this kind of stuff, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, give the video a thumbs up. That really, really helps. And we will catch up in the next video. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Ride safe and take care out there. And before I forget as well, if you're wondering what happened to the little kind of plate that we bought, which I showed you in the first part of this video, that should fit on the top of here, I'll stick a little picture up here in a second of what that looks like, because as you can tell, with the bags in the way, obviously that makes no difference, but to fit that plate, which looks so cool in the pictures, you've actually got to remove this whole rear section here, and I'll stick a picture in right now here of what that looks like. It's not pretty, is it? It has to be said. So we decided against that. I put the rack, I mean, I took it off, fitted it obviously, as you can see from that picture, and I decided it looked so bloody ugly that I put it all back together and I sent it back again. The other thing that I forgot to mention is these little stickers here, the R1250 GS stickers. They're white, and if I can find a picture of what they should look like, I'll stick that in up here. But these, although they're all right, you know, I'm not unhappy with them, they are much smaller actually than the you know, the proper ones that fit on here. The proper ones are much taller, they're fatter, but they'll do. You know, they were like £3 or something. Again, link in the description. But that is it for the accessories. As I've said, if there is anything more to come, we'll do another video on that if you like that kind of stuff.